7 people evacuated from Libya, a very successful operation.
It's been a very successful operation for HMS Cumberland. We were called into Benghazi the day before yesterday. I managed to secure a berth alongside and got ourselves into a jetty area in the main port. We placed a Royal Marine cordon out around the ship just to provide a degree of force protection, and with the Foreign and Commonwealth Office personnel that we've got on board and the UK Border Agency people on board, we processed 207 people in relatively short order and embarked them on board ready for a transit across to Malta.
And the transit was quite rough, I hear.
Very much so. After we sailed from Benghazi, it became quickly evident that we were hitting some pretty bad weather. We were sea state 6 with gale force winds, and we were heading straight into it. We made the decision at that point to slow down, to try and make it as comfortable as possible for the 207 people on board, noting the fact that they're not used to moving around a warship, and particularly a warship that's moving around quite as much as we were. So we made the decision to slow down. It took a little bit longer to get here, but I think the important thing from our point of view was to get those personnel to Malta, the place of safety, in a safe fashion.
And this sort of evacuation tasking is not very common for the Navy to do. How do you train for that?
Well, HMS Cumberland's ship's company is pretty highly motivated, highly trained, exceptionally professional, and I think the skills that we have anyway on board the ship are easily adaptable to any kind of operation like this. And in fact, the ship's company on board have responded magnificently to the last couple of days in terms of the organisation for getting the people on board, in terms of the protection and the reassurance that they've been able to provide to those people, in terms of feeding and watering them. And indeed, of course, quite a lot of them were not very well. There was a number of people who were seasick on board, and the ship's company have looked after them as well in a very compassionate and caring manner. So from one end, where they were exceptionally prepared for any eventuality alongside in Benghazi, to the compassion at the other end, I think is a classic trait of a British sailor and Royal Marine.
And Cumberland had just finished operations in the Arabian Gulf. How does a crew change from that sort of operational footing to the compassionate cases, as you said?
Well, HMS Cumberland's come to the end of a 6-month deployment. We've been operating throughout in the Arabian Gulf and in the Indian Ocean, conducting energy security patrols, maritime security patrols, and counter-piracy patrols, indeed, off the Horn of Africa. And if I was to say that just 2.5 weeks ago we were in the Arabian Gulf conducting protection of oil infrastructure and anti-terrorist patrols, 10 days ago we were off the coast of Somalia doing counter-piracy operations, and just 4 or 5 days ago we were in the northern Red Sea. I think it gives you an indication of the flexibility and the versatility of a Royal Naval warship such as Cumberland, and indeed of the ship's company on board, who have swung from one mission to the other throughout the 6 months deployments. A huge variety of tasking and a huge number of challenging missions that we've undertaken without missing a step.
And there were in fact 25 different nationalities of people.
That's correct. We lifted 207 people out of Benghazi, including a whole range of people from different countries, lots of EU countries and Commonwealth countries, as well as a number of Americans and lots of other different countries as well. Fortunately, I had the Foreign and Commonwealth Office and UK Border Agency personnel rapid deployment team on board to just assist with the processing of those people, but it was a very smooth operation when we were in the port.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Yeah, it was pretty rough in nautic terms, but they made it very comfortable, very welcome, looked after us, absolutely fantastic. So we were absolutely delighted.
And how long were you waiting in Libya?
Well, we were actually delighted that the boat was later than we thought it was going to be. We actually made a dash from about 900 kilometres south of Benghazi, and we'd been waiting almost in hiding for Benghazi to become safe enough for us to get to the port. And so we got to basically Benghazi just as the boat was leaving. So that was on, when would that be, a Friday? Saturday? Friday. So we got there just in time for the boat, so it was absolutely fantastic.
And how was it on board HMS Cumberland?
very comfortable. I mean, for a warship, you know, it's no Cunard liner, but I mean, everyone looked after us absolutely superbly. Food was very, very good, better than we get in the desert. So we were very happy, very happy. It was a very long, very tiring journey. It's very difficult to get comfortable in cramped conditions, but under the circumstances, it was fantastic.
That's great.